Hey guys, welcome to the construction site on Saturday. Today is a very special day. We're doing some thermal isolation on the mudroom's roof slab, flat roof we got. But the guys, they asked me not to film them. But as you can see, they're stretching out foil. That's going to be the underlayer under the EPS, which we've got 15 centimeters in the plan. So I bought some panels 5 centimeters wide. We're going to put 3 layers, and then they're going to mix up some concrete, flooring concrete out of fine-grained sand and cement. It's a bit like mortar, I guess. They're going to mix it up and put it in with a gradient so that it runs down, so it runs the water down towards the spout. Alright guys, so as you can see, this goes pretty fast. You can see one is placed with an offset to the other, so the connection is at the halfway of the other plate. So they're putting the plates so they overlap with the edges, so that they don't bend and they better bind together. So that's the general idea. So we've got almost the first layer down. Now he's going to cut up the ends so that they mate nicely. And we're going to start putting the second layer, and the second layer is going to put in such a way that it's going to be offset again. That way, where the connections are, then you don't have like any connection that goes straight up all the way. They're always covered somehow between the 2 layers, so that you don't get any thermal lines going through the thermal isolation and cause heat loss. Alright guys, so the second product we are using apart from our EPS is EPS 100. That's the compression strength, so it's good for being under the floor. It's some Rockwool products. This is basically some softer material that is going to go around the concrete and allow it to expand and contract and not crack, because you have a little, it will give way a little bit. And also this provides some thermal isolation between the concrete that is on top of the styrofoam and the walls, so there's no freezing going through the wall. So here at the end, because we have a little curve on the edge here that is mostly predominant in this side because the concrete was poured a little bit worse, we were putting this Rockwool from the very bottom. And the cool trick the guys are using to place these styrofoam panels so that they match in size is they place the panel so it meets up with the end, and then cut it on the line that it crosses over the first panel. That way there's no gap later on, so it fills out nicely. Pretty much white on white, but you can see the second layer is going in, and the border I've been talking about on the edge over there with the Rockwool, the work is progressing really fast. So I'm standing on the second layer, and you can see this thermal isolation with Rockwool will prevent cold from the concrete that is going to be exposed to the elements to connect with this wall, which will have some thermal isolation on top, but the concrete is going to be straight up to this Rockwool, and this will prevent freezing to go through the wall and mold and stuff like that. If you have like some gaps in your thermal isolation, the dew point will drop on the wall and there will be water coming out from the moisture in the air, because when the dew point lowers, and then water starts coming out on the wall, and then it can lead to mold and other problems like that. So that's what we're trying to prevent with this thermal. Alright guys, I've just been to the building construction store to pick up some additional Rockwool, because I don't know for what reason, due to my calculations, we sort of ran out. But the guys have been setting up the machine to mix the concrete or material, so we can take a look at what's going on. So this is a concrete mixer and pump. So this has a built-in engine, and yeah, the guys are getting some water from my pump. They're going to mix it in with the sand, the cement, and this is going to feed up the mix with the hose up top. Alrighty, so the guys are running the hose through the building outside, and the engine has a compressor on it. It's going to compress some air and push the mixture with using compressed air through this hose up onto our balcony. So the guys are using a self-leveling laser, basically to throw a line across the wall that's level. Based off that, they will do the measurements for the angle of the roof. We have a 1% drop on the concrete, so the water it sheds into the downspout that is placed over there. Yeah, really cool. Alright, so the guys are preparing to pour concrete. We're going to stretch out the last layer of foil on top of our EPS so that the concrete, when it's poured, doesn't find its way through the cracks. I love this hose, it's pretty nice. It doesn't find its way through the cracks and forms any ways for the frost to get in between the isolation. Cool. So this is a goat, kojoek, or whatever you translate it to. But this is basically the end nozzle for the concrete that comes out through the pipe, and it stops it from flying everywhere and just dumps it down. That's the general idea about this piece. So we've got everything covered with a second layer of foil, and the guys are prepping to start pouring. So we got some sand going, some cement going, and we'll mix up some concrete. can see the hose jumping around. The pump is pumping concrete. Let's go take a look how it's going outside here. To jest taki piasek bardziej. Nie? Ale rób zakład na siatce, dobra? Rób zakład na siatce. Musisz trochę przesunąć, dobra? Zobacz, tu nie ma zakładu, bo ten musi z tym, nie? Alrighty guys, so you can see this mix is like a mortar but really dry. So it's basically almost like wet sand, the consistency of wet sand. And we've put a wire mesh in here which overlaps to give the concrete strength. So it doesn't crack. And yeah, it's going pretty good. So right now the guys are setting the main diagonal, which connects the two halves that have the angle of the center to the middle, and that it falls towards the spout. So just to figure out how much material they have to put in to get the proper descent levels. Alright, so the first order of business was to do the diagonal. Now the guys are doing the perimeter. So that side will be flat because the fall is in this direction, or more likely that way toward the diagonal, and then from this side it comes in this direction, the diagonal. And that's the general idea. So it's just like a big sandbox. Really cool. I like it. Alright guys, so a status update. The guys are almost done with putting on the concrete. With the seam running in the middle and two planes coming together, only a small part near the door is left, which is fantastic. Alrighty, so the contractor is leaving, and that will be it. Come with me, let me show you the results because they're fantastic. So here we go, check it out. We got a step of Rockwool, and then one perfect smooth surface. This is really great. Now, when this cures in about 2 days, I'm going to come back here, cut off the excess Rockwool from the edges, and then put some of this glue that we use for the foundation thermal isolation as a cover on the Rockwool, so when it rains it doesn't get very wet. And the roofing guy should have to find one. He will come here and put tar paper on top of this, and once that is done, the guys can come back once again and do a second layer that will be a basis for, I don't know, tiles or whatever else we decide to put on here. So we probably want some wooden panels, like a terrace, like a wooden I don't know, wooden boards or something like that, or maybe synthetic boards that imitate wood, so it's much more permanent. And that will be it. Thank you guys very much for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see you next time. Bye.